What's up, everyone? Welcome to another pop-up edition of Player to Be Named Later. I'm G-Man. Of course, with the NBA trade deadline tomorrow, I thought I'd jump on with a couple of late trades here to go over, especially one that will definitely interest all my Raptor fans out there. First, obviously, let's start with Jimmy Butler. He gets traded finally from Miami. He does end up going to Golden State, where he stated earlier this week that he had no intention of re-signing. But when he heard that 120 million over 2 years, I know Jimmy Buckets quickly changed his mind and will be headed to Golden State to play with Steph Curry and Draymond and the rest of the Warriors. That should be really interesting to see that fit. You have two of the most outstanding and loud personalities in the locker room with Jimmy Butler and Draymond, so that connection should be interesting and just seeing how everything works there. So that's an exciting move. But now for all you Raptors fans, obviously the big move of the night right now, it's 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Brandon Ingram on his way to Toronto in exchange for Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, and a 2026 first round pick, a future second round pick, but also a 2026 first round pick. It's the pick that the Raptors received from Indiana last year in the Pascal Siakam trade. So it's an extra pick. They still hold their pick for next year. So I think this is an absolutely great move for the Raptors. Brandon Ingram is someone that I think has long been admired by Masai Ujiri and Bobby Webster and the Toronto Raptors front office. He finally is in Toronto. They finally got their guy. I think from a standpoint of what the Raptors gave up, it's an absolutely win-win situation for them. Even though BI is a free agent after the season, as was Bruce Brown, the pick, like I said, top four protected, wasn't theirs, and a future second round pick. Really, you're under the assumption that Brandon Ingram probably will re-sign here with the Raptors. If not, then all they really gave up was Kelly Olynyk. Bruce Brown was going to be headed out of town as a rental somewhere. Chances are he gets flipped again from New Orleans, probably maybe even Kelly Olynyk as part of another deal. Who knows, maybe Zion might be out the door there. But again, from a Raptors point of view, they got, a relatively big time scorer here to pair with Scotty Barnes and RJ and Emmanuel quickly. My belief is that they still hold on to Jakob Poeltl. But who knows? Who knows what Masai is thinking now? It also gives them the flexibility. Brandon he's been hurt recently. I don't believe he's played since, I actually want to say December. I just went over it quickly. It's either December 7th or January 7th. And even if he remains out for the next little bit, you can continue with the ethical tank. And also while seeing if he'll resign, you get into some negotiations with him. I'm sure there was some talk between Masai and BI's camp to see if there was some interest to remain here. And like I said, if he does, him and Scotty together, that's some great length. He's a certified bucket getter, Brandon Ingram. You don't probably will, with his length, maybe shore him up a little bit on defense, but he can get you some buckets, especially, he's that guy when things aren't going well on the offensive end and things kind of get cold. He can get you hot. I've seen him carry the Pelicans a couple of years ago. That series, I believe it was against the Clippers, where he absolutely went off. That season he went off, but in the playoffs particularly. And if he can stay healthy, if obviously Alex McKechnie and his team will work closely with getting him healthy as soon as possible here. But I think, again, it's a great trade for the Raptors. They get a lot younger by trading Bruce Brown and Kelly Olynyk, who, like I said, were probably the two of the biggest trade assets and pieces that the Raptors have this season. And I think the return is great here for the Raptors. They bring in a young guy who can create his own shot, really can create in the mid range, especially, which is really important for the Raptors. And chances are maybe they're not done here if Masai really wants to get things cooking and he decides to trade Jakob Poeltl, it could be something even more in return. But I think the return for that he gets for Brandon Ingram here is really good, regardless of whether he's a free agent or not. I really like the move for the Raptors. They still have until 3 p.m. tomorrow to maybe facilitate something else. But if this is it for the Raptors at the trade deadline, I don't mind it at all. Like I've stated before, I think Jakob Poeltl should stay. Now you're looking at a starting five of Emmanuel Quickley, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, and Jakob Poeltl. With the depth they have now with Grady, with Davion Mitchell, with Jamal Shed, I still think that Chris Boucher should be a Raptor for life. I don't know what the deal is with him and Darko. He's been lights out for literally 2 months, most of the season really, when he's played, but then, for stretches he doesn't play. So there's some kind of understanding there with Darko and what his minutes are and when he fits into the rotation. But back to the trade. I think this is a great trade. You might hear a lot of, let's say, bad takes from part of Raptors Nation, from a lot of Raptor fans. There's going to be a portion of the Raptors fan base who won't like the trade for whatever reason, for whatever numbers they pull out from their analytics bag. Here for me, you'll mostly get the eye test and my perspective from the eye test. I like his game, Brandon Ingram's game. He, again, fits in with the Raptors really well. And Masai's done it again. For all of those who think he's lost his touch, I think this is a deft move. He's not giving up much. It's not giving up anything really out of their future core. It makes them younger. They can continue with the dignified tank if BI remains out for a while, and then move on from there. So Raptor fans, a lot to be excited about. I think be careful of what you read and watch over the next day or so into the trade deadline tomorrow. I believe at 3 p.m. Well, really today at 3 p.m. Thursday, because there will be some talk out there, obviously, of what are the Raptors doing. But I really like this trade. So stay tuned for more. Thanks again for watching this video on Player to be named later. Please continue to support and watch and follow this channel on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. Ask me some questions, send me your thoughts, and have a good night, everyone. Hope there's some big trades to report tomorrow with other teams, but I really like this trade deadline so far, and there's a lot obviously going on, some big trades, some big players moving. But once again, the Toronto Raptors getting Brandon Ingram from the New Orleans Pelicans, Bruce Brown, Kelly Olynyk, 2026 first round pick and a future second round pick. I'll talk to you later. Peace. See you on the next video.